A Community Day Classic featuring the Pokemon Machop is coming to Pokemon GO, and I'm really excited about this one because when it comes to Machamp, it has become a very relevant Pokemon as of late, and you do not want to miss out on this Community Day. It's going to be a great opportunity for you to pick up shinies of this Pokemon, as well as farming up XL candies for Machop, so that you could max out your best Machamps for Dynamax content and different things like that. I'm going to be talking about everything you need to know regarding this event in this video. Let's get right into it. Alright y'all, how's it going everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So, we're going to be getting a Community Day Classic featuring the Pokemon Machop. This is a Pokemon that got a Community Day a couple of years ago, and I feel like a lot of players have been wanting this Community Day Classic. It may not necessarily be as hyped as other Community Day Classics that we've had, but I will say this is a pretty good one. Machop is definitely one of those Pokemon that players will always need, whether it be because it is a really solid fighting type, or if it's because of PvP. Regardless, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to farm up candies and shinies of this Pokemon, and I do think you should not miss out on this event. So yeah, let's start this off by talking about the event details for Machop Community Day Classic, and then afterwards I will share all of my thoughts. Machop Community Day Classic is going to be happening on Saturday, May 24th at 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time. And the featured Pokemon is of course going to be Machop, and you're going to have a really high chance at getting a shiny of this Pokemon on this day. Now, during this event, if you evolve a Machop into Machamp, you're going to get the featured attack Payback. And when it comes to this move, it does give this Pokemon a lot of type coverage, but it's not necessarily going to make this Pokemon top tier. This is one of those unique situations where the Community Day move is actually kind of a downgrade compared to the moves that it already comes with. But if you want a little bit of type coverage, or you're trying to formulate a very specific PvP team, then just so you know, Payback is going to be available if you evolve Machop into Machamp during this event. And there's also going to be a special research which you can purchase within the web store. It's going to give you 3 encounters with Machop with a special background and even more goodies. Now I know that for a lot of players this is something they don't necessarily care about, but it is quite unique getting any Pokemon with a special background. So this is your way of getting a Machop with special backgrounds, and I do think personally it is worth it if you're more of a collector. Now during this event, we're going to see the following event bonuses. You're going to be able to get 3 times the amount of Stardust whenever you catch Pokemon. You're going to get 3-hour lure modules as well as 3-hour incense, and then you're going to get additional spawns when you take snapshots. And considering this is a Community Day Classic, just be aware they do not have any other bonuses. It's going to be quite different from a regular Community Day. For example, you're not going to get the trade bonuses that you typically see, so that is something you should definitely keep in mind when it comes to this event. What I will say is that the Stardust bonus alone is actually what makes this Community Day worth it. If you really need Stardust, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to get a whole bunch of Stardust en masse, and the reason why I say that is because during Community Days, they increase the number of spawn points during the event hours, which means you can catch even more Pokemon. So if you have a Pokemon GO++, or if you are able to catch a whole bunch of Pokemon en masse, then this is going to be a great way for you to get a whole bunch of Stardust within a short period. And then after the event ends, you're going to see a special research which is going to be timed, and it's going to give you encounters with Machop with a special background. And then finally, there's going to be field research tasks during this event, and they're going to award you with Machop encounters, Stardust, as well as Great Balls, and other additional items. Typically, these field research tasks involve catching the Community Day Pokemon en masse, so make sure you're spinning Pokestops while you are engaging with the Community Day Classic, and you'll get additional rewards for just simply playing the game. And don't forget that Pokemon you get from field research tasks will have a higher IV floor, so there's a good chance you might actually pick up a Shundo from these field research tasks. If that's your aim, then you should definitely not ignore field research, because they are a great source of high IV shinies. So yeah, nothing too special with this Community Day. It's basically going to be your run-of-the-mill Community Day Classic, but at the very least, the Pokemon is pretty good. I will say that getting yourself a Machamp with payback is not necessarily going to be game changing, but at the very least you should take this opportunity to farm up shinies as well as candy for this Pokemon. We are on the precipice of getting Gigantamax Machamp, and that is going to be one of the best Dynamax Pokemon in the game, and you will want to have the candies and Stardust to prepare for it. If you get yourself a really good one from Gigantamax Machamp Battle Day, then you will want to make sure you have the candies to max it out right away. I will say that the other thing nice about this Pokemon is that it is actually pretty underrated when it comes to raid damage. Like, if you happen to have yourself a really high IV Shadow Machamp, it's definitely one you could utilize in raids to deal a lot of damage. The nice thing about this Pokemon is that it has a lot of type coverage, so if you need it for fighting type raid damage, it will obviously have you covered, but it also has rock type attacks, and then of course payback is a dark type attack, so there's a lot of uses for this Pokemon. And on top of that, it has always been a staple Pokemon for PvP, specifically in the Ultra League, and then in certain specialty cups, Machop is actually a really powerful Pokemon. So I will say this Pokemon is useful, and it may not necessarily be the most useful community day that we've had so far this year, but I will still say it is in the upper tiers. So yeah, don't miss out on this event. I do think it's going to be a really good time, especially if you just started playing Pokemon Go very recently, because it's been a while since we've had Machop Community Day, and this shiny is once again considered rare. So yeah, above everything else, I think it's a great opportunity for you to get a whole bunch of shiny Machops. That's always going to be a huge plus. In any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding Machop Community Day Classic. Are you looking forward to this event? Do you feel like it's going to be a really good time? Definitely share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget the notification bell so that you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel and at the same time you want to get a permanent spot on my in-game friends list, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon, because for all of my Patreon subscribers, I will add them to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids and the friendship system, like opening and sending gifts. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, I suggest you go and follow me on social media. I'll put a link to them in the description below, or you could go to any of the platforms that you see on the bottom of your screen and just look for Count Jinsula and make sure you follow me for some exclusive content. And with all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, and love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later.
진솔아와 함께해 Pokémon Go 다 같이 와